There's a new theory about the mysterious and debilitating symptoms reported by dozens of government workers. Some officials now suspect the so-called Havana Syndrome could have been an unintended consequence of electronic intelligence gathering, which was then weaponized to intentionally cause harm. NBC's Courtney Kube joins us now. She's the Pentagon and national security correspondent for NBC News. Courtney, good to see you again. So this theory essentially says Havana Syndrome could have been accidental, at least at first. Are U.S. officials worried that foreign adversaries could start using it more?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So, I mean, look, there's one or two theories here. One is that this is an intentional weapon, something that is directed at individuals with the intent of causing physical harm. The other, and this is a theory that we've been hearing more and more about, is that it's some sort of a surveillance mechanism. So it's an attempt to extract information from someone's personal cell phone, laptop, whatever, from them, and that in some individuals, for whatever reason, it causes this mysterious medical side effects. In some cases, very severe side effects. The concern, though, is even if the original intent was just some sort of a surveillance or to gather information, is that now whomever is behind this has realized that it has this medical side effect and that they have decided to weaponize it. That's the real concern here. So even if that wasn't the original intent, it could now be used as a weapon, Joe. So,
Courtney, how is the U.S. government responding to these new concerns, this theory?
So, you know, the officials who we've spoken with have said that they're going to give medical attention to anyone who needs it, who's maybe impacted by this. But that really underlines the one of the big issues here is how do you really prove, how do you really know that someone may have been impacted by this? There are some cases where people have come forward with these symptoms that happened months earlier, and they aren't really sure when it may have happened or where. So it's a very difficult, and also the range of symptoms is very wide. There are some people who have long-term medical issues associated with, and then there are others who have a temporary problem, temporary feelings of ringing in their ears, a loud noise, a low hum, whatever it is. But then it sort of goes away and they don't have a longer-term impact. So how do you deal with this range of issues where you don't really know where it's coming from? That's what the administration is dealing with here. The one thing we continue to hear is they will provide medical assistance and help to whomever comes forward and needs it, Joe.
Yeah, more on that. As we've reported, Courtney, American diplomats wrote a letter in May asking for the State Department to help those suffering with lingering symptoms. Do we have an update on the victims?
Not yet. And there's been some talk about sort of a baseline of reporting where they will test some of these diplomats if they want voluntarily before they go overseas to see if they have any of these symptoms to start with. But that, it's not just diplomats who are being impacted by this. There's also, we know, members of the intelligence community. There have been cases within DOD, the Department of Defense. In fact, we know now that one former DOD employee came forward in just the last month with believing that this individual had been a victim of this attack and was sort of debriefed and talked through what could have happened and where. But in this case, they believe that this DOD employee was actually impacted here in the U.S. So while the administration, I was struck by how many of the officials we spoke with were really trying to point to the fact that most of this is happening overseas, but there have been cases of this where people believe they were impacted by whatever this is, these waves, that they were impacted by it here in the United States, Joe.
Wow. All right, Courtney, thanks for keeping us updated on this story. We appreciate it.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.